What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Grand App Show. We got episode 31. I'm super pumped. We're bringing it back. A little different venue and a little different change. We're still in the office. Yeah, I'm excited. We stopped doing it for a little bit.
That's a bummer.
It is a bummer, but we have a way better and more elaborate setup.
It is. It's legit. It's
Is it
super
legit?
legit. We got Focusrites in here. We got really nice mics, and yeah.
So hopefully there's no echo. But yeah, so Grand App Show, episode 31, I think, where we left off. We have a very special guest, and I want to introduce this guest, but I'm going to tell a little story about how we met. So, as you guys can see, I am wearing, well, if you're listening to the podcast, you can't see, I am wearing a Render Films hat. So today for me is Render Films. Matt Beeler is one of the creators, freelancer, and he's shooting this. Shout out to Mike on the audio. Got to give you props, man, for this nice setup. So, Nate reached out to Render Films. And first of all, how did you even find out about Render Films?
So, interesting story. So, my fiance, Kelsey, is a personal trainer, and somehow she got a promotional email from Render Films that had something to do with a promo fitness video deal, right? And so she couldn't take advantage of it, but she showed it to me, and I was like, man, that seems like
What was the deal?
I think it was like a 3-minute promo video for like $4.50 or
sales,
something like
baby?
that. Yeah, no, and that honestly, that's
Shout
what,
out to Render.
Yeah, no, they did good, and it was very well put together. And I just remember it caught my attention, and I was like, man, that's a pretty good deal. And I just started up, my LLC, Kairos Digital, and at that time I was like, man, I really need like some kind of video to throw on the website or whatever. So I was like, that price point seems pretty good. I'd be willing to give them a try, right? So I hit him up, and they're like, that promo was for fitness videos only. And
Did they try to upsell you?
No, actually, no, they didn't. So, but we scheduled a meeting and then told them essentially what I was looking for, and then we just moved on and scheduled the video shoot, and they produced the video for me, and out of that came a relationship, which was very interesting, right? So
Super random.
yeah, super random, unexpected, and like that's typically how it goes. But that's one of the cool things about entrepreneurship, and essentially like getting to know people, taking risks, and essentially like going out of your way to like hire people, and give them a shot, right? So I came to Grand Apps, to meet with Noah from Render, and I happened to bump into John Butler, into JB.
Which, JB, by the way, if nobody knows, if you're watching, if you're listening, bump the mic there. John Butler's my partner at Grand Apps. We're both operating partners, started the company. So that's JB.
Yep, yeah. So I bumped into John, and we started talking, and he was like, hey, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I do custom software development, right? And so one thing led to another, and here we are,
Yeah, and with that too, Grand Apps internally, what we do is we have in-house developers and we have out-house developers, right? And we wanted to kind of find some local partners to kind of bring them back, instead of, going offshores. I mean, everybody does it, right?
Yeah.
Big companies, small companies.
Yep.
It's hard to keep the bandwidth, right? And,
Right.
Hire people. And that's something I want to talk about, for episode 31 of the show was I want to talk about entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah.
Because Nate has a really cool story how he started and kind of what his vision is for running a business. And anytime like me and him are feeling fired up, like even Matt too, like, we'll sit there and text each other like man, like people just don't get it.
Yeah.
Or,
Fire, let's get it.
Yeah,
Let's
entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get each other all fired up. So that was one topic that I wanted to talk about was entrepreneurship. So just real quick, I want you to jump into your story, and we're just going to kind of take it from there, right?
Yeah, so I'll try to condense the story as tight as I can because sometimes I feel like I should write a book about all this. But so really my journey into entrepreneurship was organic, and it honestly came out of essentially like being disgruntled slightly. It had a lot to do with my childhood and kind of growing up as a kid. So I basically come from a lower class family. Kind of grew up without a dad and like that whole thing. And so I always had like this chip on my shoulder, right? And I was kind of a punk ass teenager, playing drums in a rock band and like partying, and I thought that was my whole life, and I really enjoyed it, right? But some things happened while I was growing up that I didn't really realize was kind of like me being an entrepreneur, right? So like I was the kid at 6 years old, 7 years old or whatever, who was like, Pokemon was a big thing, right? And so I had a bunch of neighbor kids, and like my game was like, I'm gonna go get all of the best Pokemon cards. I'm gonna make the best trades. I'm gonna make the best negotiations. And then over time, it was like I had all the best ones, and people were like, no fair. How'd you get all those, right? And then furthermore, I didn't realize that I had entrepreneurial tendencies until after right about like freshman year of college, right? So like again, I would have my mom like draw like cartoons and like Pokemon characters. She was really good at sketching them, and she thought she was just drawing them for me because I wanted them. I would take those and then I would go and sell them on the school bus, right? And so, but I didn't realize I would trade them for like snacks and stuff like that at lunchtime or a couple dollars, so I could go buy like the Bosco sticks in line, in middle school and
Bosco
that stuff, right?
sticks. I still love Bosco sticks.
Yeah, me too. Those were the best, that and chocolate milk. But I didn't really realize like what I was doing, and then it just kind of dawned on me right about age like 19. I was working in the factories. I've been in and out of factory work, and it was soul crushing, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this. Like, I really believe that it's possible for me to essentially like take my fate and destiny into my own hands and to find a way to be my own boss, because I'm sick of dealing with all the dumb crap that comes along with working in a factory and stuff like that. So that, because I was in that environment, that factory environment, it really pushed me and drove me to actually do something about it. So I was freelancing graphic design.
How old were you?
I was about 18, 19 years
18,
old.
19?
Yep. I still had a real big chip on my shoulder at that time.
I still got a big chip on my shoulder.
Yeah, I still do too. It's kind of toned down a little bit. It's toned down a little bit over time, but that was the motivator. It was my problem with authority, and it was my essentially like drive to produce a better outcome for myself in the long run. And then I've always been the type of person where like I have to tinker, I have to problem solve. It's not enough for me to just sit there and do like a mundane task over and over, because after a while I start taking a look at it and I'm like, this could be done better. This could be done better.
So I was trying to improve on
right.
And what is so people that don't know, I don't know if you got into it too much, but your company, what do you do?
Yeah, so we do custom software development for everything from custom websites to web applications to mobile applications.
Super custom.
And then the rabbit hole goes much deeper than that as well. So we do things like automation, machine learning, integrations, cybersecurity. Like I just fixed 2 hacked WordPress websites like over the course of the last 2 months for some clients. But basically it's now no longer a question of what, it's a question of how and why. Right? So
problem solving.
Yeah, problem solving, right? Because it's like, look, the technologies are available, especially in the software development world. Yes, you need to have a lot of technical expertise if you want to be able to do all of the things. But how and why is always the biggest questions that have to be answered for any type of entrepreneurial venture at all, right?
Yeah.
How are you going to do the thing? How are you going to produce it? How are you going to sell it? Why would somebody want to buy it? So why should you be selling it?
So I want to pivot real quick.
Yeah.
I know Matt has a little take on this. Sometimes I'm gonna bring Matt in like on this one too, maybe. But entrepreneurship, right? So it's a hot buzzword right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing it for going on 8 years now.
Yeah.
And
7
it
years.
it just kind of fell in my lap, right? And I really didn't know what I want to do, and I just kind of started my company, and I was like, I kind of like this. And I started when like the recession hit, so there were no jobs that I wanted to take. So I just kind of had to start my company kind of out of necessity. But I loved it. I loved the challenge of it, and I loved all the problems. I have a lot of friends right now to this day who are small business owners, and they are absolutely miserable.
Yes.
They're
That's
miserable.
One of my fears, yep.
No, well, I think you're good. But we'll see though. Yeah. But they're super miserable because they started their company. Now they have to maintain it. They're getting so busy. They're getting stressed out. And that's a good problem. All these leads coming in. Matt, you're getting all these video leads coming in, and it's just hard for them to kind of juggle and balance. I think those people should be employees. I really do, just because when you own a business, you're always on call.
Absolutely.
So the hot button word entrepreneurship. Everybody wants to be their own boss. It sounds super cool.
Yeah.
I want to get into some of the things that people don't talk about. What's hard about entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
right?
Heavy is the crown. Heavy is the crown. But yeah, let's talk about that for sure. Because there's
what are two of the biggest things that like you're like, shit, I wish I knew that getting into it.
Yeah, definitely. So the first thing that comes to mind is if you're a true diehard entrepreneur and that's in your blood, that's in your DNA, you're gonna make a lot of personal sacrifice in the form of events and time, right? So it's like,
Yes,
for example,
100%.
let's say you find a moderate level of success with entrepreneurship. I mean, you have your whole entire business is really depending on you and what you do. And if, there's some companies out there where if the CEOs take a day off, that company could lose millions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean though? It means like, okay, you're missing time with your kids if you have kids. You're missing time with your family. You're missing time with your, if you have a partner, if you're married or whatnot, right? So there's a lot of personal sacrifice that comes along with that territory. So that's the first one that really comes to mind. And you have to be okay with that and understand what that means long term. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's where you gotta get real about yourself, though. Like, you have to understand yourself through and throughout, because, like, for me, like, I am built differently, I think, and I am a person of extremes. So if it's the gym, I'm doing 2 days. I'm super focused.
Right.
If it's business, like, I'm just coming in the office nonstop. I'm very competitive. I got a lot of chips on my shoulder, right?
Yep.
I'm just built a little differently from the other people, and I know that about myself. So I know that I will be good at running a business. Whereas there's a lot of people I talk to, and they want.
Yeah.
I swear to you, to this day, I mean, I even have business partners who want to be a little more flexible with their time.
Right.
And they want to have a little more balance. I don't. Like, I'm in the flow. Matt's in the flow. We're doing what we love, and we love what we do. So it's not even like we're working.
Right.
But people who want to be balanced, they should probably, if they don't want to do what they do all the time,
right,
go get a job somewhere. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying everybody wants to be an entrepreneur and they see that, but it's like
it's
the amount of sacrifice
the sexy
you have
thing.
to make.
Yeah,
like,
it's the sexy thing. And look, it's like you have to become a bull. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to deal with all of the crap that comes along with being an entrepreneurship, because it's not always milk and honey. It's not always like
super sexy.
You're going to have bad days. You have to be able to take negative feedback and not take it personal. You also have to have like an emotional intelligence about yourself as well, or you have to be able to develop one, right? Because it's like, at the end of the day, it's business, it's not personal. And so sometimes, you're going to be hit with some really harsh negative feedback, or maybe you really effed up and it had some really nasty side effects as a result of it. But you have to be able to brush your shoulders off and look at things. You almost have to distance yourself from the personal aspect of the situation and just think from a business standpoint, whether on what you should do. So there's a lot of different skills packed into entrepreneurship that you have to be able to develop and hone in over time. And I really believe that the ability to do that is going to be a huge pendulum swing on what happens for you at the at the end of the road, basically.
And like sacrifice too, right? And like you're saying is, sometimes you have to sacrifice the short term for the long term, and we've been having this conversation about hiring people, investing back in the business, right?
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't see on the back end, they look at the front end, they go, man, we have all these projects coming in, but they don't see the expenses.
Right.
They don't see the payroll, they don't see the taxes, they don't see
taxes alone.
They don't see the rents, they don't see the utilities, they don't see any of this stuff, right? So there's a lot of stuff on the back end that people are kind of missing. They just see projects and this, and wow, that looks really good.
Yep.
But as the business owner, you have to be aware of what you want to do.
Right.
You want to build a big company, right?
I have crazy visions for what my company could be like eventually someday, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm basically willing to trade away my life essentially so that I can have a highly successful business for my unborn children that I plan on having someday, for my future wife. And so it's a lot more just not necessarily just selfish ambition. Why so big? Why do I want to have like some highly successful multi-million-dollar software company? It's about, I want to test myself in this game called life, and I want to just see what I'm capable of accomplishing and doing. And even if I get halfway there, at least at the end of the day, when I'm on my deathbed, I can look back and I can say, I put everything in that I could. And to me, that is why I'm an entrepreneur, basically. It's like I want to test myself against the world as much as I possibly can. And that's it.
We're getting pretty heavy here.
Yeah. I don't want to steer people away from entrepreneurship.
And that's
either,
exactly.
Right?
So that's
trying to scare people.
That's why I want to shift it. So I want to say, so you got the Grand Apps Facebook Live going. Yeah. It's pretty good.
Shout out
to that. Let's cut it now, and then you guys could watch the episode later. So we're getting pretty heavy. Pretty negative.
Yeah.
So what's something that was really good that you found that you loved about running your own business that you never would have thought?
Absolutely. So with great risk also comes great reward, hopefully. And part of the really awesome benefits of being an entrepreneur is you're your own boss, right? There's nobody really telling you hey, you have to do this thing. There is some flexibility and freedom in your schedule and your time and where you can put your efforts. But I think the biggest thing is that you then have the opportunity to pursue what makes you tick.
Is that what you like the most about it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I like the freedom.
The freedom I like too. I
like
consider it a perk. Yeah,
I like to do whatever I want when I want. No one can tell me what to do. I'm just this is my time.
Personally, where I'm at with my business and my journey in entrepreneurship, I'm in a spot where I do have a lot of freedom, but it comes and it goes, right?
Yeah.
There's some days or weeks where I'm I have no freedom, I have responsibility. You know what I mean?
Well, I think you're always gonna have responsibility, but just for the fact, at least me, if I wanted to, I could go away for 2 months.
Yep.
Something's gonna happen, but I could still do that.
Exactly.
And you're still set up to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the benefit. The benefit is that you're the commander of your ship. If you want to be the commander of your ship, you have to be at the wheel. But that is a great reward of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love that. But it's pretty tough. So everybody who's out there thinking they want to be an entrepreneur, maybe we'll start a course. We'll do a coaching course.
Yeah.
So you guys could come in and we'll give you the super negatives of it.
Yeah.
And then see if you still want to be an entrepreneur after.
Right, yeah.
And then if you do want to be an entrepreneur after, then we'll help invest in your company, right?
Here's my advice. Here's my advice. If you're a new entrepreneur or you're thinking about going into entrepreneurship, do it. And see if you like it.
Yeah.
Try it and see if you like it. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Yeah. One thing I definitely recommend though is get embedded and put yourself around other like-minded individuals, you know what I mean? And they will help you avoid landmines, which will make the experience much more fun and enjoyable.
That's what we're doing right now, right?
Right, exactly.
100% surround you. Because all right, so Nate wants to build this massive multi-million-dollar software development company.
Yep.
Do you know how many people that I talk to who are freelancers, who are just doing what they're doing and they don't want that? Example, there was one person who we know or met who doesn't want that.
Yeah, and that's totally cool.
It's totally fine, right? Yep. Totally fine. They don't want that. But when you find somebody like that, you're like Matt, love shooting video. I told him, I was like, dude, I'm going to get you some opportunities.
Yes.
And we got to talk after this because I got one for you. Mm-hmm. But you got to find yourself those people and just hold on tight to them because 98% of the population don't want what we want, what we want, and you just have to hold on to those people really tight. That's all I can say is surround yourself with those people. As soon as you find them.
Absolutely, because you know what? They help you level up your game, and then that plays itself out over time, and then hopefully you will then be in a position in the future where you can then return the favor to someone else. And so, for me, that's one of the things that I really like about it. It's I want to be in a position where I can provide opportunity and network people together. And
I'm at that point. I like doing that.
Yeah, the giving aspect of it to me is really that makes me feel good. I need that. That's one of the things that I need. So
little shots of dopamine.
Yeah. No. Well, and it's you're actually helping someone legitimately, and there's value to that, even though you're not getting anything back. It's there's this kind of phrase circulating around, but it's you shouldn't give with that expectation back, and so that's one of the cool things is there's a lot of people in entrepreneurship who share that mentality, and so
that's true though. Do you know? So there's a book. Don't quote me because I don't read, but there's a book and it's about different people, right?
Yeah.
Connectors. They have terms for it, right?
Yep.
So they say the people who are the most successful in life, who make the most money, do whatever, like they're people who are connectors.
Yes.
Because if I connect Micah with Nate, right?
Yes.
You're gonna go, oh, well, that was just right now, right? I said, hey, talk to each other, right? Talk about video and audio. You guys will connect. You guys might hit it off and do a cool project, do whatever you guys want. That's cool.
Yep.
But then you might be like, oh man, Chris connected me. Like, who else does he know?
Yeah.
You know, you came up to me and asked about Steve at Lantern, right? I said, no, we got something else for you, which I'm happy. I'm happy. So he's accepted a full-time job here. So I'm the creative team. So super pumped to have him, Grand Apps Nation. So, but
Awesome.
you got to connect people.
Yes.
And you have to do it. I've always done it. I've just always done it out of the kindness of my heart, because I truly do like connecting people with other people to set them up for success, right? I don't expect if I, set you up with Steve and you get a job at Lantern, you're going to give me free coffee when I come in, right?
Right.
Maybe you'd hook me up like, hey, here's one on the house. I've had that happen, but I don't want that. Like, I want you to go succeed, because truly 100% when you're around other people who are succeeding, they're going to be happier.
Yes.
They're going to help pull you up. You help pull them up, right? It's positive. You're happy. You're not going towards a downward cycle of just shit, just negative and sad and like, oh, there's no opportunity.
It's true.
It's like plague, man.
I'm sure everyone's heard it before, but you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. I really believe that's true.
I do too. That's why
I really believe that's true.
I do too. I always say, like, take your phone out and then scroll through your last 5 text messages of the last 5 people you talk to.
Yep.
Frequently. That's who you are. Like mine.
I'll do it right now.
Mine. You're gonna put me on the spot. Watch. Everybody's pulling their phone out now.
Here we go. Getting real.
Okay, so right here, Nate.
Yep.
Talk to Nate.
Yep.
I got Matt. Number 2, I got my other 3rd business partner, Brent. Right, we do real estate. I don't have your number yet. I'll text you soon. I got Elizabeth. We're gonna do shoot for her, right?
Yep.
John Butler, my partner, and so like right there, top 5. Those people are all super positive people who like I look up to, right? Who will help me get to a certain level as well.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So he's not saying it because he's got some.
What?
We got to pull it up. Who are the top 5?
Yeah,
he never said. So he must have.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, it's Chris. It's Grace Sherman's my awesome helper, front end developer and designer.
Okay.
It's my buddy Evan, who I haven't talked to in a while, but
is that Evan Fit or Evan FFT?
It's Evan Bartlett. It's from Fine Titans. We were in a band. We were in a band together. He's awesome. Love you, Evan. And then Dan, who I met last night at the Senate.
Okay.
So I want to reach out to you, Dan, schedule some coffee. And then James Nutter and Steve Kick. So they are involved with me and a few other people. We're trying to start a networking group. But it's aimed at education. It's called AIM. But anyways, that's it. But that was all like this morning. So I don't think that necessarily counts. But
I think it counts.
Yeah.
So you wake up to. So last take on entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
What message do you really want to share with people right now?
Sure. Give me a second just to think.
There's
about
no
that,
seconds. There's no seconds to think about.
I get pretty prolific. So okay, yeah. So
it's got to be
the message.
60 seconds.
Okay, the message that I want to leave with people who are considering getting into entrepreneurship is believe in yourself, buy into what you're capable of, and don't let anyone else steer you away from your vision, even if they're telling you that you're crazy or this is never gonna work. If everyone who is successful in the world listened to that bullshit, they would get nowhere. They would give up, and the dream only dies if you let it die. And that's all I have.
Which is fantastic.
Thank you.
Because when I started Grand Apps, you know what my dad said to me? My dad was like, Chris, that sounds good. I don't know what apps are. You want to join the Navy? I said, Dad, absolutely not.
Come on, bro.
That's what he said, though.
Come on, man.
He did say it. My mom, I love her to death. She supported me through and through. She's like, okay, honey, apps are good. I love you. Go make apps.
Yep.
My roommates didn't support me. But yeah, I think that, you saying it sounds kind of cliche.
Sure.
No, I'm not saying when you say it. I'm saying when
yeah.
people hear that, believe in yourself, right? No. Really believe in yourself.
You need it.
Have confidence.
You need it.
Creative, have confidence in what you do. Video, have confidence in what you do.
Yep.
Because no one's going to believe in you as much as you do. They just won't.
Yep.
They'll support you, but they're not going to believe in you as much as you. So.
And no one's going to make your dreams happen for you. it's at the end of the day, it's down to you to make the life that you want to have, you know, and entrepreneurship is a way to do that. But like, that's why you have to believe in yourself, because you have to be the person that's driving the agenda forward for yourself.
And it's going to be hard as shit.
Yep.
So that's it.
But you can
Episode
handle
31.
it. You can handle it.
Hopefully, and if not, go get a job.
Yes, if you can't, tap out.
So, episode 31. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, man.